Opportunity to introduce Dr. Nuni Walsh, a prime example of the caliber of the teachers of our Livingston school system. Dr. Walsh is the Livingston High School teacher of the college-level Advanced Placement Environmental Science course and a co-teacher of the Science Research course. One of Dr. Walsh's students, Joy Ming, was recently selected as a semi-finalist in the Google Global Science Fair. Dr. Walsh brings a wealth of wide-ranging experiences, both personal and academic, which undoubtedly have enhanced her teaching skills. On the personal level, as a child, she had an unusually balanced upbringing. Not only did she learn how to cook and sew and knit and play the piano, sing songs in the Hawaiian language, but also, I guess to her father's credit, how to fix cars, how to change tires, how to weld, how to mix mortars, how to raise honeybees, how to develop wilderness skills, and to identify animal tracks. On the academic level, Dr. Walsh received her BA in chemistry from the University of California in San Diego, where she specialized in earth science, which included six earth science graduate courses at the renowned Scripps Institute of Oceanography, all of which added to her special interest in environmental science. After receiving her master's degree at California State University at Long Beach and a stint working as an environmental chemistry in San Diego, she completed her PhD in geological sciences at the University of Washington, where she made a special study of the eruption styles of volcanoes both in the United States and Hawaii. It's a pleasure for me to introduce Dr. Walsh.
Walter asked me to speak here because he read a little bit about me. There's been a little bit of media coverage because last year the school voted me Teacher of the Year from the high school, and then this year I was in the top 10 finalists for Princeton University Teacher of the Year. So I'm very pleased to be here. Here, a job opened in earth science, and he suggested I apply to it. And I had never considered teaching high school, and it was a real eye-opener when I did. And now 10 years later, I have the greatest job in the world, teaching the next generation about the earth. And so here I am.
Doctor, could you talk a little bit about the high school, the number of AP courses that you teach, and a little bit about the AP course, like do the kids get college credit?
Yes.
And a little bit about the kids as far as the research that they've done or the awards that they've won?
Yes. So I teach 3 AP Environmental Science, and my husband Tom teaches AP Physics. And there are other AP, there's AP Biology and AP Chemistry, and then there's AP classes from other disciplines too. So AP stands for Advanced Placement, and once the students, we teach a particular curriculum, which is a college-level curriculum in that topic, and at the end of the year there's a national exam that the students can take, and they get a score of 1 to 5, and if they 3 is passing and 4 and 5 means excellent. And so the schools will give the students credit for that class when they go to college. And there have been students that have taken so many AP classes that they have only 3 years of college left. They can enter college as a sophomore. That's hard to do though, that's very hard to do. So most of the students take the AP courses just so that they can substitute them. They can get credit for a few classes during freshman year. They don't enter into competitions that get them awards other than the competitions at the school. So most of the AP students will enter things like the Merck Scholars Contest or the Science League, or they're on the Science Olympiad. So they do competitions associated with the school. In the Science Research course that I teach, it's a 3-year course where students apply and they're accepted as a sophomore, and they have to be in the course sophomore, junior, and senior year. So they commit 3 years, and they find a topic of interest and find a mentor in the field, and these mentors are at medical schools and universities, and we've had students go as far away as Israel and Greece to work with a mentor over the summer. And they do authentic research, and by the time they enter their senior year, they've written a research paper, and some of the students have been published in high school in peer-reviewed journals. It's pretty amazing. Those students enter things like the Intel competition and the Siemens competition, which are national and international competitions, and so not just through the school itself. And the science research has been around since 2005, and we've had 1 Intel finalist and 4 Intel semifinalists and 1 Siemens finalist and 3 Siemens semifinalists. So those are big international competitions. And then a lot of the students have won the local awards like the Rutgers Award. And Joy Ming was mentioned. She won the Young Epidemiology Scholars finalist competition, and I traveled with her to Washington, D.C. to watch her compete with the other students. It was amazing. The students at the high school, they're just wonderful. Motivated, happy, a little stressed out, a little overworked, but we try to keep them going, and they're great students.
How many students are there in a class?
For the science research, it's about 15 per class, because it's like 15 different preps that you do for each student, because they each have a different topic and a different mentor, and you have to read each of their papers. But in my AP classes, I'm full this year, 24 per class. They don't allow more than 24 in the science classes because of lab restrictions.
What requirement is there for them to be considered?
For the AP Environmental Science, what requirements are there for the students to be considered? For the AP, for my AP Science, Environmental Science, you can enter as a sophomore without any requirements other than having your freshman science, which everyone has to take. Other AP sciences, like the AP Bio, you're required to have the non-AP Bio before going into it. So the other AP science. I'm sorry?
What type of grade?
For the AP Bio, you can enter as a sophomore, but most are juniors. Is that what you meant?
No, grade.
What kind of grade?
A, B, C, do they need a certain
for
grade?
the AP Sciences, it's...
To get in?
Oh, to get in. Well, this year we've gone to open enrollment, so grades aren't considered. As long as they apply, then they can take the class. But in previous, I've always been open enrollment because I would rather just teach I don't really care about the AP grades. I want to teach environmental science to the students. I know the school cares about the AP grade because sometimes that is incorporated into the school report card, things that you read about. So yeah, we're open enrollment now. And for the science research, though, it's a little more restricted because you can only take in a maximum of 15 per year. So they have to write essays why they want to take it, and then the GPA from science, math, and English is combined into a formula for determining, ranking of the students. It's a little bit, you have to be selective for the science research because they have to commit 3 years.
What about the attrition? Do you get much attrition rate?
In all of the classes, do you get much attrition rate is the question. In the AP classes, because it's gone to open enrollment, at the first marking period, if you have less than a C-, you have to drop down. And so this is the first year of it. I can't remember the percentage of students that had to drop down, but it was actually surprisingly low because I think the administration was expecting more. So the students are willing to try it. In the science research, I personally have, in 5 years, 2 students have left. And one was because she couldn't find a mentor. She had a very specific topic that she wasn't willing to expand into another field and couldn't find a mentor. And the other said he was just so overworked he couldn't do it for senior year.
At the Yellowstone National Park?
No, but I was an assistant on studies in the Long Valley caldera of Central California, and that's the same type of volcano that occurs in Yellowstone. Those eruptions have never happened in human history, but the evidence shows a gigantic collapse.
I want to thank you, Dr. Walsh. I think it's been very privileged to have a person of caliber teaching in the Livingston school system.
Thank you. We're very happy to be here.